Welcome to Crossroads. Folks, individuals who are risking prosecution once Trump comes back into office may receive preemptive, maybe even sweeping pardons under Biden. And look, President Joe Biden has now confirmed that he is at least considering these types of pardons. And in other news, Trump is still facing criminal sentencing in New York as well. This is over the Stormy Daniels case. The judge in that case announced that he will sentence Donald Trump this Friday. But Trump is trying to delay the sentencing of this. And in other news as well, an alleged agent of the Chinese Communist Party, another one, was arrested by the FBI in Los Angeles. This individual is being accused of trying to manipulate U.S. politics and export the CCP's persecutions onto U.S. soil. Now, I'll be going to these topics and more today, so let's jump into it. Folks, first off, look, individuals who risk being prosecuted once Trump comes back into office, because Trump has been saying that this may happen, these individuals could potentially receive preemptive pardons. President Joe Biden has now said that he is considering issuing pardons like this. And this would shield key figures from being prosecuted. Now, Biden demonstrated a novel use of pardons like this. It was never really done before. The closest we had was under Richard Nixon, who got kind of a sweeping pardon. But Joe Biden granted his son, Hunter Biden, a pardon for any potential crimes that may have been committed or that he was even somewhat involved in between January 2014 and December 2024. And Biden has been pressed to give similar pardons, novel ones, we've never seen it done like this really, to others, although he has not fully committed to doing so. Now, he made these comments during an exclusive interview with USA Today, and here's what they said. It said, Biden said he is considering preemptive pardons for public figures such as former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who was on the January 6th committee, and former senior health official Dr. Anthony Fauci, who has been threatened with investigation and prosecution by the incoming President Donald Trump. Now, it notes, when Biden met with Trump in the Oval Office a week after the November election, he urged the president-elect to not go forward with threats to target those who have criticized him or, in Cheney's case, helped lead efforts to impeach him. And he said, quote, I tried to make clear that there was no need and it was counterintuitive for his interest to go back and try to settle scores, Biden said. And it adds, how did Trump respond? Quote, he didn't say, no, I'm going to. You know, he didn't reinforce it. He just basically listened. It says Biden said his decision will be based on, quote, a little bit on whom Trump names to top administration roles, suggesting, well, whether Biden gives pardons or not will depend on who Trump actually appoints to these agencies. Now, it's not clear whether Biden will grant the pardons, and doing so would also not necessarily prevent House Republicans or the incoming Trump team like Vivek Ramaswamy or others who are being, again, nominated right now from carrying out criminal investigations if they decide it's necessary. Now, some have also suggested that a sweeping pardon could make a person unable to plead the Fifth if they were called in to testify against a crime or in a congressional investigation. And this is given there would be no risk of incriminating themselves. If you plead the Fifth, right under the Constitution, you do not have to give information that incriminates yourself. But if you're pardoned for any potential crimes, there is no risk, and so you can't do that. That's one of the arguments. Now, some people have also rejected presidential pardons. Some say we don't want them at all. A couple of the individuals on death row who were offered to have their sentences commuted by Biden, they actually declined it because they say this would impact their moves to appeal the charges. They believe they should be deemed innocent, and they want to get out of prison, not just be on life in prison without having death on the table, right? And even with President-elect Donald Trump saying he's going to pardon people who were prosecuted over January 6th, some of the J6ers have already said that they will decline the pardons because some of them believe it could impact their efforts to get the charges dismissed entirely. They believe there needs to be counter-investigations, and they believe everything should get tossed out. And the concern with some of them is that if they get pardons, it basically makes the crimes in stone. They were guilty, and they're just pardoned of the crimes they were guilty of, and some of them don't want that. Now, as of right now, time is also quickly running out for Biden to grant pardons, if he's really going to do this, right? It's not clear whether he's going to do it or not. Again, USA Today had this interview with him where he said he's thinking about it. And with Trump's inauguration just 2 weeks away, less than that, well, the clock is ticking, folks.